Disaster 6. The hunt begins. The village gathered at twilight, our glow strong in the slipping hour. Lanterns swayed from posts, their crystal fire catching the last of the sun. The hunters stood at the south wall, bows strung, spears gleaming, hounds restless. No one needed to tell you they were ready, you could see it in their shoulders, in the calm they carried with them like an extra weapon. So Torvin, the lead hunter, stood at the front. Moonborn through and through, ashen skin speckled like granite, hair cropped short and streaked pale like frost through stone, eyes the sharp silver of a blade. A scar carved across his jaw, with smaller ones webbing his hands and forearms, all of them pale against his skin. He didn't hide them. They looked like cracks in stone that had held through every storm. "We go while twilight holds," so Torvin said, his tone steady as stone. "We'll be back before the hollow of night, when our glow begins to fail." Saw Arla of the hounds scanned the children at the lane's mouth. "Inside. We can't track and guard you both." Her glow softened, steady as a hand pressed to a hound's flank. My ears twitched before I even thought about it. Saw Arla's glow might have been protective, almost kind, but the warmth of it still pressed me back like a stool shoved aside before someone tripped on it. I hated how small it made me feel. I glanced down the line of hunters and trackers, Dawnborn at the front, Mistborn shimmer in the middle, Moonborn at the rear. My ears tipped forward, searching for something that wasn't there. No Groveborn. My glow flickered sharp at my fingertips, puzzled sparks snapping before I could stop them. No roots among them, I muttered. Lyric stood a half step back, arms folded, boots planted like he meant to root there until morning. His glow hummed steady and low, moss green at the edges. His ears flicked at my mutter, but he didn't look at me. I slipped over and bumped his arm. "You feel it too." His jaw set. The green of his glow tightening close against his skin. "I feel you about to do something stupid." "Not me. The woods." I jabbed his elbow, and he hunched away like I'd pricked him with a thorn. "It's wrong. Too quiet. You can feel it, don't pretend you can't." His glow paled, ears angling back. He kept his eyes on the hunters. "Doesn't matter. Let them handle it." "They can't." Sparks jumped bright off my knuckles, brushing his sleeve. "Not without roots. No Groveborn means they'll miss it. You and me, we'll find it first." His shoulders bunched, glow pressed in tight. "Kelri, if they catch us, we're dead." "Not dead. Grounded." I grinned, ears tipping forward. "There's a difference." He finally turned, scowl carved deep. His glow pulsed once, heavy and stubborn as packed soil. "I'm not going." "Yes, you are." "No," his arms crossed tighter, ears locked flat. "Yes." My glow sparked sharp, betraying me even as I smiled like it was already decided. We held it there, glow buzzing between us like trapped beetles in a jar. My sparks snapped hot, his glow hummed low and steady, rooted deep. Then his ears sagged sideways, shoulders sinking as the fight drained out. He let out a long breath, arms dropping loose at his sides. "Soil help me," he muttered, glow loosening to a dull mossy sigh. "If we get eaten, grounded, or buried under a thorn bush, I'm blaming you." I flashed him a grin, my glow flaring bright enough to make him squint. "Deal." The hunters moved out, their lanterns swallowed by the hedge and mist. The square exhaled with them, doors closing, kettles clinking, voices falling into the rhythm of waiting. Aunt Brenna caught my eye from her porch, flower on her arms, glow soft with worry. "Home, Kelri. Help me mind the oven." My shoulders twitched, caught between guilt and defiance. I nodded and took a few steps toward her, dragging my boots like I meant it. Aunt Brenna's glow softened as she turned back inside, already fussing with the kettle. The moment her back was turned, I darted sideways, caught Larrick's sleeve, and tugged him into the shadows of the bean rows. He stumbled after me, ears flicking in alarm. We pressed close against the fence where the porch light couldn't reach. If she turns around? Larrick hissed, glow tightening nervously. She won't, I whispered back, sparks snapping at my fingertips. She's already got her hands full with the kettle. My grin flashed sharp. Now listen, when they're deep in the fun path, we slip the other way, through the hedge. We'll follow the scraps, not paw prints. Larrick groaned, dragging a hand down his face. His glow stayed low and heavy, stubborn as stone. Kelri. I poked his arm again. Roots don't lie. You can feel the trail. I can spot the mess. Together we'll find it first. His glow pulsed once, reluctant. He muttered, "Soil help me," but his ears tilted sideways in surrender. The village glow had melted hours ago, swallowed by trees and mist. No lanterns, no chatter, just the hush of damp air and the faint shine of our own skin. My sparks twitched bright no matter how I pressed them down, while Larrick's glow clung mossy and low, steady enough to make me want to kick him just to see it flicker. Still can't believe your aunt didn't notice, he muttered, ducking under a low branch. His ears twitched back like he half expected Aunt Brenna to step out of the mist and haul us both home. She didn't notice because you sneak like moss, I said, sparks stinging my sleeve as I shoved through a snag of thorn vines. If it was me, Aunt Brenna would have had me by the ear before I even hit the hedge. His glow pulled tighter, sour green, and his shoulders tipped down as if to shrug me off. She still might. If we come back empty. Then we won't. Sparks snapped sharp off my nails, betraying the smirk I tried to hide. He sighed, long and low, like dirt giving way under a shovel. His ears tilted forward again, patient, and we kept walking. Mist curled at our ankles, dragging like pale cloth. Glowbugs drifted in lazy spirals overhead, their hum so faint it sounded like they were whispering secrets we weren't supposed to hear. Mushrooms bulged fat from the moss, caps glimmering faint as though they'd swallowed crumbs of starlight. The smell was sharp fern and wet bark, and under it a sour turn of soil, like something pressed down and lifted up again and again. The quiet pressed heavier than the damp. No birds. No hares. Not even drip water. Just the hush of leaves leaning into each other, our steps muffled, the little hiss of sparks I couldn't hold in. I bent suddenly, sparks leaping. Look. Bread crust. It was wedged in a root split, soggy and chewed. Proof. My ears angled forward, proud. Larrick crouched too, but not for the crust. His palm pressed to the moss, glow deepening moss green down his arm. Slowly the moss stirred beneath his hand, stretching like it wanted to be noticed. His ears tipped forward, steady. Old, he murmured, voice gone flat and strange. Days. Not them. I leaned closer, sparks snapping off my fingertips, itching. Wait, does the moss tell you that? Like actual words? Or is it a hum? Or... Shh. His ears flicked back, glow pulling tight as if he was shutting me out on purpose. Don't. Shh. Me. If moss is whispering, I deserve to know what language it speaks. His eyes stayed down, but his ears angled sideways, half patience, half warning. Not yours. I made a face, sparks spitting spitefully, and darted forward when I spotted paw shapes in the mud. Fine. Then what about this? Fresh. He didn't even touch the prints. His hand slid to the seedlings nearby. They twitched upright under his palm, trembling like paws had brushed them moments ago. His ears sharpened, listening hard. Fresh. Hours. Many. Running. His glow pulsed once, echoing the word. I wrinkled my nose. Perfect. Shardcats throwing a race. Should we clap when they cross the finish line? Sparks fizzed across my knuckles, too bright. He didn't even glance at me. His glow stayed pooled in the soil. Quiet. His ears tipped forward, focused. Fine, then a dance, I muttered. Sparks hissed sharp. With costumes. Shardcat masquerade. I bet they're better dancers than you. One ear flicked sideways, Groveborn, for I heard that. His face didn't change, but his glow steadied lower, like he was holding in a laugh. We pressed on. A ribbon dangled from a branch. I yanked it down, grinning. See? They drag stuff everywhere. He crouched again, glow pooling moss deep. The moss sagged limp until he coaxed it up, his fingers gentle, ears never moving from that sharp tilt forward. Old. Weeks. I shoved the ribbon into my pocket. Sparks flared against the fabric. You ruin everything. No, he said simply, brushing the moss flat again. His glow dimmed as he stood, his shoulders rolling steady. I check it. You're like an old man. Old, boring, soil whispering. Shh. His ears flicked back, not annoyed, just firm. You don't talk much, do you? His glow lingered soft around his collarbones as he gave me a look. Because I listen. Listening's overrated. Sparks spat, betraying me. Talking gets things done. Not here. His glow deepened for a breath, like the roots agreed. His ears held forward. The mist thickened, hiding scraps until we almost stepped on them, half a glow fruit rind glowing faint where teeth had scored it, a sprig of thyme gnawed bare, even a clay shard scratched with claws. A child's wooden toy cart, wheel broken, sat half buried in moss. Creepy, I muttered, prodding the cart with my toe. Sparks snapped nervous and hot. What kind of shardcat steals toys? Lyric crouched, glow spilling moss green through his palm. The seedlings around him trembled awake, leaning toward him. His ears folded back, listening so hard he barely breathed. Not them. I wrinkled my nose, sparks flashing sharp. Then who? His jaw stayed tight. His glow thinned, sharp at the edges. He didn't answer. So I filled the silence. Maybe they're building a fort. With ribbons and carts and half-eaten glow fruit. Sparks leapt, too loud. You'd be the shardcat in charge of moss roofing. He stood, glow dimming, ears angling sideways just enough to show he'd heard. If I was a shardcat, you'd already be eaten. I gasped, clutching my chest, sparks flying wild. So violent. Quiet. His glow slipped back into his skin. His shoulders rolled steady, grounded. We wound through trunks that leaned close enough to drip on our hair, across a moss-slick log, through a runnel where our glow rippled like thin moonlight. Every time I aimed for the easy path, Lyric's hand pressed to the soil, turned us again. Not that, he'd say, or only, old. His ears stayed forward, never uncertain. You're so bossy, I muttered, sparks fizzing off my sleeves. Roots are bossy, he said, not even looking up. His glow hummed faint against the ground. At least roots don't. Shh. All the time. His lips twitched, ears flicking sideways, almost smile, but he stayed quiet. Another stretch of silence. Too long. My ears twitched restless. What if shardcats wear clothes? Maybe that's why they keep stealing them. Secret shardcat fashion show. Sparks hissed bright at the thought. He crouched suddenly, glow sinking deeper. Seedlings bent and then stood tall under his hand. His ears pinned sharp. Fresh, he murmured. Shardlings among them. The word buzzed in my chest like a glow bug caught in glass. Sparks snapped uncontrollably. That's not fair. You get to hear babies? If so, Torvin could do that, the shardcats would have been caught already. He can't, Lyric said, smoothing the seedlings down again. His ears eased back into focus. His glow dimmed steady. None of them can. We walked until the path forked. Left into heavy mist. Right beneath boughs dripping wet. This way, I said quickly, sparks licking down my nails. Lyric caught my sleeve. His grip was steady, not hard. But his glow poured moss-thick into the soil. Seedlings strained upright, every stem bending toward him. His ears angled back, warning sharp. Not that way. Too old. Fresh runs right. Why do you always say no? Sparks spat hot. One time, just one, you should say, wow, Kelri, brilliant idea, let's chase the ribbon scraps. His ears didn't twitch. His glow sank lower, stubborn. Not today. I groaned loud enough to scatter glow bugs. Ugh. You're impossible. You're loud. His voice was calm on purpose. His ears twitched back a fraction, smug. Better than mossy and boring. Sparks flared at my wrists. His lips twitched. His glow pulsed once. Debatable. I gasped, sparks popping. That was definitely a joke. You admit it. His ears flicked flat, but the corner of his mouth still threatened to lift. Shh, we went right. Mist rose to our waists, smearing the trees into shadows. Roots curled like ribs. Moss sucked soft at our boots. Glowbugs clung close to the trunks, their faint light trembling whenever sparks betrayed me. The air grew colder, wet enough to sink into my bones. Our glow thinned with it, mine jittering restless, Lyric's stretched taut but steady, moss veins pulsing faint even as the edges frayed. Shadows leaned long and strange, bending when I looked away. My chest tightened, sparks spilling sharp and uneven. Lyric rose slow from another crouch, glow frayed at the edges, ears angled back. Then we'd better hurry, he said. Deepest night's not far. Sparks spat hot across my fingertips. The words pressed heavy, deepest night, when our glow thins, when even strong legs falter. My stomach twisted, though I tried to laugh it off. Fine, I muttered, sparks snapping. But if we get eaten, or grounded, I'm blaming you. His ears flicked sideways, smug as moss. No. If we get eaten, I'm blaming you. You dragged me out here. I stuck my tongue out at him, sparks spitting too bright. He sighed, glow pulled tight around his shoulders. And the forest sighed with him. We tried to hurry, but the forest had opinions about that, or roots rising, trunks leaning, making sure we knew who was in charge. The trunks thickened and turned, not straight but spiraled, each wearing ridges like old rope. Roots rose up from the moss and braided themselves into walls. We had to slip sideways, between them, shoulders brushing slick bark, our glow smeared thin on the wet wood. The air sharpened until it pinched my nose, herbs, wet cloth, fruit gone wrong. Under it lurked cat and stone and something like the inside of a riverbed. My sparks jumped and hissed and then ducked tight to my skin as if they didn't want to be seen. Lyric lifted one hand for quiet. He didn't need to speak, his ears were already tilted hard back, and his glow pooled low to his wrists. I stilled. Even the mist seemed to listen. The woods have gone quiet, he said. No birds. No hares. Only shardcats moving where they shouldn't. My grin slipped out before my whisper did. See? I said, sparks flicking bright just to show off. Told you we'd find something. Lyric didn't smile. His glow drew in close, a low green hush against the bark, and his ears tilted forward in that listening way of his. "Something," he said at last. His ears tipped forward, listening. Close. The path didn't end so much as fade. Roots crowded tighter, weaving into a low arch where the air grew sour with time and damp cloth. Nothing clear, just hints. A shred of thread caught in bark, a glimmer of something buried under moss. I brushed a patch aside, and light flickered faint, too steady to be dew. Farther on, a ribbon scrap had half melted into the soil, its color leached by mud. Lyric crouched, pressing his palm to the ground. The seedlings nearby trembled like they'd been stepped on not long ago. "Old trails," he murmured, glow whispering through his veins. "Almost gone." I squinted into the dim, sparks twitching. "Almost isn't gone." He tilted his head. That grove-born stillness settling over him. His glow sank low, pulsing once at his wrists before flattening to nothing. "The ground hums," he murmured. "Something's moving, light, but too many steps to be won." I watched him, trying to sense what he did. The forest felt thick around us, wet, waiting. My sparks twitched under my skin, restless and bright, wanting to do something. I bit my lip, forcing them still. Then a sliver of light bent wrong across a root ahead, curving back toward me instead of away. Dawn-born sight prickled through my arms. Light doesn't do that unless something alive interrupts it. "Lyric," I whispered, voice tight. "There's a reflection. Moving." He didn't answer. His posture changed instead, ears tipping forward, shoulders low, one hand spreading against the ground. The air tightened, like the forest had pressed closer to listen. I followed his gaze. At first, nothing, just ferns and mist. Then, a flicker between roots, a faint shimmer darting through, quick and deliberate. Not glow fruit. Not a bug. The hue was wrong, too sharp, too cold. Lyric's fingers flexed against the moss, a silent signal to hold still. His glow dimmed until it was only a whisper under his skin. My throat tightened. "Shardcat?" I mouthed. He brushed his fingertips along the moss again, eyes half closed. "More than one," he breathed. "They're circling." The forest answered with a soft chitter to the right, quick, questioning. Another answered from the left. My glow flared in reflex, bright as a gasp. The light hit wet bark and scattered like rain. Lyric's hand found my arm. His fingers tightened, no panic, just command. His eyes locked on mine, Thalen. "Now." "I can't," my voice cracked. "Not all the way yet." His grip didn't loosen. "Hold it as long as you can," he murmured. "Don't move until I come out." That quiet certainty steadied me more than I wanted to admit. I drew a deep breath, tasting damp bark in time, and pulled the light inward. It fought me, jittery and hot. But I pressed it down, again and again, until the glow along my arms dimmed to a faint shimmer. I froze, afraid to breathe too hard. Lyric Thalen beside me, fading into a low green blur. His chest barely moved, his focus was absolute. The forest seemed to bend around his stillness. The world grew sharper through the silence. Water dripping from a leaf. My pulse drumming in my throat. And then, soft, pads pressing into moss, slow and careful. A shardcat. It stepped through the roots, pale-backed and sharp-eyed, its fur glinting with stray shards of light. It paused, sniffing. The tip of its ear twitched. Another followed, smaller, weaving through the first steps. I held the Thalen tight. My arms ached. My lungs burned. My sparks fluttered against the cage I'd made for them. Lyric didn't move. Not a breath. Not a blink. The shard cat turned its head, eyes sliding past us, through us, and kept walking. The smaller one tripped over a root and sneezed. The sound startled its companion, who hissed before padding forward again. Only when the sound of their paws vanished did Lyric move. His glow flickered once, faint and brief, like a signal fire dying down. I let the Thalen go, gasping, my light snapping back so fast it made me dizzy. Lyric's voice came quiet, steady as always. They're heading somewhere. All the same way. I let out a shaky laugh, half disbelief, half triumph. My glow pulsed back to life in small, uneven flickers. I did it, I whispered. I actually Thalened. Lyric turned toward me, his expression softening just enough for pride to show in his eyes. You did, he said. And held it longer than most your first time. My sparks flared, bright and pleased, betraying me completely. Don't sound so surprised. He arched an eyebrow. You nearly lit up the woods a minute ago. Details, I said, still grinning. My heart wouldn't slow down, not from fear anymore, but from the thrill of finally getting it right. Lyric's almost smile faded as his ears angled forward again. They won't stay gone for long. We need to see where they're taking everything. I nodded, forcing my sparks to calm. The forest felt different now, warmer somehow, like it had noticed us and was waiting. Come on, he said softly. Before they circle back. We moved carefully, following the faint trail of pressed moss and scattered scent. The roots ahead curled tighter, forming a low passage that breathed cool air, damp and sweet with herbs.